Cool. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another in this beautiful series of conversations with JCFs, Certified Facilitators. I'm Crystal Crawford, if you guys don't know me. And I'm here today with Deborah, how do you say your last name?
Brzycki.
Brzycki. Also
Just like it's
American
spelled.
or Canadian?
American. Yeah.
Cool. Just fun facts. So,
Yeah.
yeah, cool. So I don't actually know a whole lot about you, and this whole series was just to like expose the gift that choosing to be a joy business facilitator has been to you and expose more of you and what you're being in the
Yeah.
world. And so can you tell me a little bit about like when you became a CF and then when you added JCF and what that's been like for you?
So I became a CF just in 2019, and I was at the last class that we did in Costa Rica.
Okay.
And it was kind of a long process to get there. It took me a while to really choose it. But then once I did, I was like, and what else? And what else? And what else? And, just really started delving into a lot of the specialties. And it was interesting the choice to do joy of business. So I kind of like to do things backwards sometimes. Like if I get a magazine, like I start at the end of the magazine and go to the front.
That's it.
And I remember, I don't even know why I was not working, but I had these days off, and Simone was doing the Joy of Business certified facilitator training online. And it was right when COVID was starting. And I was like, huh, maybe I'll do that. Never had done a business done different class, never did any of the Joy of Business classes, although I did have the book and I had read the book. And I was like, okay, well, let's do this. So I joined in online, and it was a little odd. Like I was just kind of like, what are they talking about? Like I just don't really I don't get what's going on here. And it probably would have been a really good idea if I had done a business done different class before I did the CF
Right.
training for Joy of Business, because it was really kind of beyond anything that was in my world at that point. And so eventually, so I think that was it January or February of 2020? And then I don't think I did a business done different class for probably 5 months.
Okay.
And she had set this up so that you could actually do the training. And then if you decided you wanted to be a Joy of Business facilitator, that you could do the prerequisites after, which, is like the way that I do things.
And for you guys watching this in real time, that's actually true of this one as well. So if you did want to come and jump
Yeah,
in all the way
right.
without knowing what's up, you can. And this is actually the last training that she's going to do it like that. So that's really cool. So you took a BDD
Yeah,
5 months after.
I did. And I took that one with Christopher Hughes online as well. And then I was like, oh, like the light bulb went off.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because you think like, okay, well, I'm a certified facilitator. I've got all these awesome tools. I can facilitate foundation and I know all this stuff. And then you do a business done different and you're like, whoa, like it almost for me like clarified and cemented everything that I had already learned, but in such a way that I really got it.
Cool.
So the business done different class was really like the light bulb going off for me as far as like facilitation and really my own life, like how I wanted to live my life and what I was doing to, gaslight myself and, be my own worst enemy in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So even after taking both business done different classes, I still was like, do I want to do this?
I don't
And then
know.
eventually I was just like, yeah, I do want to do this. And it was just one of those things, they talk about like all these different specialties in access, and like you should do the one that you think like is not for you, or it doesn't call out to you. So for me, like the Joy of Business was just like, it was just like this, like almost like a uh, like a nothing, it was just
Yeah,
like,
like it just
I didn't
what
have any
yeah.
strong
Yeah.
reaction to it either way. It wasn't something that repelled me. It wasn't something that attracted me until I actually did it. And then I was like, wow, these tools are amazing.
Yeah, I really
And
thought I knew what it was until I took a BDD class. I did do the BDDs before the facilitators, and I was like, oh, I know business. That was my little bit different story, but I'm like, I got all this, I'm just
yeah.
going to take the classes so I get the prereqs. And then I
Hmm.
took my first BDD, and I was like, wow, that was the one of the biggest invitations to being and relaxing that
Yes.
I had ever
Yeah.
received. And I had been asking for that, but I didn't know how to get there. So I
Right.
totally get what you're saying.
Yeah. It was a very amazing journey. And I'll tell you, since becoming a Joy of Business facilitator, there has been not only that sense of relaxation that you talk about, but I feel like the community of people that are in Joy of Business are just so supportive of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, unlike anything else that I have experienced anywhere else. And it's just wonderful. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Hmm.
So as an like, tell me about your entrepreneur life, hashtag entrepreneur life. Like, are you?
You, so it's interesting. That we have that like bright, shiny object kind of syndrome. And I've always kind of had that. And it was interesting. I recall even from like being a young kid, like always sort of orchestrating things. Like I was the only girl in the family, and like every holiday, I was like, okay, you're going to do this and you're going to do that and you're going to do that. But I never then extrapolated that into like, oh, like business, like this is something that you do. It was like, no, I am a healthcare worker, I am all these other things, but I never really recognized like the business aspect of me. And that has been really amazing because I've created some pretty fun stuff. And just being able to acknowledge it is
Yeah.
like a gift in itself. Hmm.
Yeah. So
So
so did you start entrepreneuring with becoming a CF or before that, or like, tell me more?
before that, yeah, I mean, I got sucked into the multi-level marketing stuff a little bit.
I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of was from there, but it was always with this sense of there is something else possible beyond what people are doing this in this reality. It was always that no, there's something else. Like I haven't found it yet, but it's there. And so, I kind of dabbled around in that a little bit. And then even when I became a CF, it was like initially it was just more for me. It was like
Yeah.
getting another degree. It was like the education that people should actually receive. And then the CF business for me has honestly kind of taken a back seat to a lot of other stuff that I've done. And I've always used the excuse like, well, you're using the tools in your life and you're creating your life using the tools. And then it's like, oh, well, maybe you should talk to other people about that too and share what you're doing and how this stuff actually works. So I think it just came down to me very recently saying this isn't going to be the back seat anymore. Like this
Yeah.
is something that I am going to talk about with people. And whether it's in, my job in this reality that, even being so different, it opens up a space for people to acknowledge that there is something else out there and they can choose something different than day in, day out what their reality has been.
Yeah. So if you were going to talk about, business as it is for you, like what is the joy of business for you? And has
It
it shown
really,
up different than you thought?
yeah. I yes and no, because I think I've
Cool.
always had that. Like there's something else possible here.
Yeah.
There's something different and something else possible than the way people do things.
Yeah.
And um I totally forgot what you asked me.
That's okay. The joy of business for you, like what is, for me, it's a lot of, the freedom to create whatever you want whenever you want. Like that's the joy of it. You don't have to stick to a form. There is no formula to stick to. There is just,
Right.
you know, you get to create as much or as little or as whatever as you want, and you're the
Right.
gift. So getting you out in the world is what works and changes things. And so I have this very kind of like sense of it, but just from bashing around and, you know, letting myself go wild, girls gone wild in a totally different way.
Yes. And, you know, it is funny because once you take that right and wrong out of the
Yeah.
equation of how things should be and start following the energy, it's amazing the stuff that shows up. And that has really been, I think, the most joyous part of business for me is really just recognizing that energy and following it.
Cool,
Mhm.
cool. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to share that I haven't asked you?
Um, yeah, you should probably like really take a look at this if it has, you know, never been on your radar, or if
Yeah.
you know, you're just looking for something else to add to your certified facilitator business. It really touches every area of your life and improves every area of your life. Mhm.
Agree. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank
And
you. I
thank you guys for
appreciate you.
watching, and we'll see you in the training or we'll see you online. Bye for now.
Bye.